My name is Yusra.
And I'm Gilbert.
And today we have Welcome back to Eat and Talk, everybody. I'm Yusra.
And I'm Gilbert.
And today we got our third. So if you're wondering why we're still wearing the same clothes, we had a couple of interviews today. We got our third guest. I'm going to let them, well, first, hold on. I'm sorry. What's your name?
Gilbert.
Okay. Did you said it already?
Yeah,
oh,
okay,
my bad. Okay. We're going to let our guests introduce themselves. So go ahead.
My name is Zach. I'm the founder of Peer Pressure Fitness and co-owner with my guy here, Marjay.
I'm Marjay. I own Peer Pressure Fitness with my guy here.
Yes, sir.
If you guys, before we start, I know we're about to enjoy these drinks, which you guys are partners with. If you guys want to tell us more about the drinks,
Yeah, for sure.
that would be great.
For sure.
Oh, this is really good.
It's very good. So this is Big Watt. They're a local company. It is plant-based, 0 calories, and it tastes amazing. So shout out to them. They are killing it. Hopped in a bunch of gas stations recently, and they keep going up. Doing big things.
Wow.
They're amazing. Water, caffeinated water. Nothing's
Oh,
better
it's
than that.
caffeinated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, they got coffee as well.
No, like, I mean, I knew it was like sparkling water, but I thought it was sparkling, not caffeinated.
It's like the perfect kick. Coffee is a little too much sometimes. But they have a coffee version also. It's infused with water as well.
I love coffee, so I'm glad you said that.
And you guys said they just got into gas stations?
They did. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Minnesota owned.
Yes, it is.
Okay,
Yep.
nice. That's awesome.
We'll definitely share that link.
Yeah.
For
So
sure.
thank you guys so much for coming. We got Peer Pressure Fitness. You had your launch. When was it? Last week or was it 2 weeks ago?
About 2 weeks ago on the second.
Okay, about 2 weeks ago. So tell us more about Peer Pressure. How did it start? What do you guys do?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. So we thought about it while we were slacklining. You know, we thought about an entity that would be great, you know, for everybody to come and surround themselves with positive vibes, safety, and optimism, production, you know. So,
Yeah, no, just bouncing off of that, there's a lot of health influencers and a lot of wellness related influencers in Minnesota, and there's so much potential here to support that and grow that here, but there's no hub to make that happen. Right?
Yeah. True.
So our goal was to create a space where that can be optimized, and just bring the city together and create a wellness and just create a good vibe for the whole city as far as fitness.
right.
Wow.
So I was able to stop when you guys launched. How did you guys come about picking the space and the location to?
That was tough. We went through a couple of different.
Well, first of all, maybe you can tell us, where are you guys located?
We are at 710 West Lake Street on the corner of Lake and Lindale, so the heart of Uptown, amazing spot.
The heart of Uptown.
Yes. We were looking around at a few different places and doing different, showings and things like that. And then we drove by this spot and saw a for lease sign. So we're like, this is a cool spot. We'll give them a call. And it worked out. We signed a lease the first day we showed up.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was
and
quick.
We were like, we need this spot. It just spoke to us. And we got to work. So the back end of 2020, we did renovation because it was a bike shop originally, Penn Cycle. So it was a lot of renovation to be done, but we got through that and made a gym. It's here.
Wow, that's
We
awesome.
went through all of the emotions, every single one.
Yeah, let's dive into that. What's some obstacles you guys went through in that process?
What's the obstacle that we went through? We went through.
Honestly, the timing would be
Timing
the first
was
obstacle.
huge. Dealing with COVID was huge.
Wow. That's a lot of obstacles. Keep going.
COVID's a big one.
The lockdown hit us big.
The lockdown.
Wow.
The
Okay.
lockdown again.
Yeah, right before the lockdown, we had a fashion show just for local brands to show their stuff because, like I said, we made this space to show what Minnesota has to offer.
And that's the thing, I want to touch back on that. That's the thing about the space. When I saw the space, it's not like a regular gym. It's pretty open.
Yeah,
So
a little bit more than a gym. for
that
sure.
was unique how you guys went about doing the space.
Yes, yeah, we're event center as well. So that's kind of what differentiates us from other gyms in the area and the country as a whole is we have events as well. So we'll have networking parties and galas for people to come together and work with each other and collaborate. Fashion shows for local brands to show what they got, and we'll have more lighthearted events like game nights, movie nights, things like that. Just all things social, because that's a part of optimizing your wellness and health is being social with the community.
Wow, I love that. That's different. So how'd you come up with the name?
So we came up with the name in a couple different ways. We wanted to use the word pressure for sure. So we ran through a lot of things to go before pressure, you know, and we were like, we don't just want to make a name that doesn't really make sense. So we thought about what we stood for, and you know, we wanted to redefine the word peer pressure. You know, people always use it in a negative context when it can also be used in a positive context. You can, like the energy inside of the gym can make you want to be productive for the rest of the day. You know, so peer pressure fitness is it speaks for itself when you want to, you know, change your life or be around something better than what you're doing. You know, so. That's the main.
So how did you guys get into this industry with health, and what were you guys doing before? Like, tell us about your personal backgrounds.
Yeah, so you can go.
So before this, I was training at a couple different gyms after playing basketball. And before that, I was working at LA Fitness. But I had a love for exercise and training people and changing their lives, you know. So I had one client first, shout out to Fardosa Fitness. She, I trained her, changed her life, and she started training, and then she started just being great. And then I saw that, and I wanted to do that to everybody. You know, it fueled me to keep doing what I was doing, and I found out how to fuel me. You know, and that's how it was. So then, I ran through all kind of majors. I was gonna major in accounting and all kind of stuff, but I finally chose exercise science. And then after college, I got a corporate job, and I was still training after, like, throughout everything I was doing. And then finally, my part-time became my full-time after fitting it in and throwing it in, doing double shifts, not sleeping, you know. So that was the best thing I ever did. And then I was working at a gym where I met him, and then we both were like, we feel like we're the same. Natural selection brought us here, you know. So we just started, you know, thinking deep every day, you know, thinking outside the box. So, you know, that's pretty much. And I was playing basketball also, and he was an athlete as well. He can swim.
Okay.
This is a swimmer.
He said,
Mike,
you put your eyes on light, he said, swim.
Real fellas.
My foot.
Okay, so let's go transition to you.
Yeah,
what
for
was
sure.
your background?
So I'm from Milwaukee. I swam for 15 years. So college, high school, all that. And I was lucky enough to know what I wanted to do pretty early. So I was into sports and all that, and I was also into science when I was in school. So you put those together, and it's exercise science, right? So I knew what I wanted to study right away. I got recruited to St. Thomas to swim, so that's where I got my degree in exercise science, and then I hopped into the University of Minnesota to get my master's in kinesiology. So I'm 1 year through that, got 1 year to go. But exercise science, just I live and breathe it. This is everything that I love. So I was blessed to know right away.
I haven't heard of exercise science. Can you tell us a little bit more about, like, what that, you know, what it is?
So when you exercise, you know, there's a lot of myths out there.
Yeah.
And I feel like the myths are only out there to keep a market, because there's answers to everything. You know, there's answers there's real answers to how to lose weight, how to gain weight, how to get in the best shape of your life. And exercise science tells you all of the answers. And if you hear anything outside of that, you can just disregard it.
So it's like it dissects what exercising is basically for you.
Yes, it's into a science. So yeah, you start out with anatomy, then you get into physiology, and then you just keep moving up and learning more, and then you can apply all that to exercise and be the best trainer you can be.
Nice. So how do you guys apply that when you guys train your clients?
So it depends on what their goals are. So we use science to get them to their goals. So like, say if somebody's trying to lose weight, I wouldn't give them the same exercise plan that I give somebody that's trying to gain weight. You know, so then we tweak the reps, we tweak the rest times, we tweak the amount of sets, the length of the session, you know, to where it responds according to their goals. You know what I mean? So that's a big way. And then we also use modalities and toys and things of such, you know, to help people get to their goals as well. And that changes a lot of different things, you know. That's pretty much how.
So you always start with a consultation, and that's when you go over your goals.
Yeah,
that's when you do a fitness assessment to see where you're at, so you get a starting point, and then you build a program based off what that is, and then you apply that program every single day.
And then their workout plan correlates to the last. If you're not a trainer, if your workouts don't correlate to the last, and like if it's not building off, if they're not getting stronger, if they're not working, if you're improvising, then they're not actually working. We're using real science because everything, you graduate to things. So
stages, progression, all that.
Patience, focus.
So how do you guys, I mean, we talked about this earlier a little bit, health as well, and you guys are busy training other people, so how do you guys stay focused on yourselves and making sure you guys maintain your own health?
Sneak it in. Sneak it in. If it's midnight, it's midnight.
Yeah,
if it's
so
6
no matter
a.m., it's
what.
6 a.m.
Yeah.
I get in there early.
Yeah.
Double shifted. I treat it as a part of my job. So like I feel like it's a part of my duty to get into the gym and lead by example. Let my clients know that everything they're doing isn't just what I know. I do it. You know. So then that helps them understand. They're like, okay, I saw you doing that the other day. You know. And then that just helps them out. It motivates them. You know. So.
And that's one thing I want to touch back is you do such a good job at leading by example, because you utilize social media to your advantage, because some of the exercises I see you do, it's leading by examples, and that's way to motivate your clients as well too. So
thanks. I really appreciate that.
So that will go into my next question about like social media. Like, how well are you utilizing social media to benefit your business? Or
social media at this point pretty much runs the business to an extent.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, like it's pretty easy to utilize what you're already halfway good at for something productive rather than entertainment purposes.
Yeah.
You know, so but that's not the only thing that we gotta do. You know, we still gotta go market and get out here. Like when we leave here today, we're about to go market and knock on business doors and give them flyers and ask them if they like to know us, you know. So it's still labor in it, you know. So that's how social media is being utilized. We post everything that they need to know. We post consistently. We post. We have people to help us post.
Great team.
Great team. We have. Hold on. Shout out to our team.
Shout out to our team.
We appreciate our team. We love you guys.
That was gonna be my next question, because I was like, I know you guys definitely have a team.
For sure.
For sure.
That's awesome. So 2 questions. So it's going to be 2 advices for 2 different audiences. One is, what advice do you give for people who are looking to start their own business, who are having a hard time like just getting up? And then the second question is, what advice do you have people who are having trouble to start their health plan and work on their diet? Because obviously we went through a lot in 2020. And a lot of people, their like health declined, and now they're looking at ways to motivate themselves to come back out, especially now that gyms are back open. You know, so what advice would you give to those 2 different audiences?
Yeah, so I think I'll touch on the first one and hit the health one. As far as starting a business and the motivation for that, and next step you should take and things like that, is do not be afraid to collaborate and ask for help and ask questions. Right? Everyone wants to be solo and be like, yeah, I did it by myself, out the mud by myself, all that. You need a team and you need a support system, right? Because anything that you can learn by yourself, that would take maybe 4 years for you to learn. If you have a team, a few weeks. You know what I mean? So don't be afraid to collaborate and ask for help and use other people to your advantage, and use other people's talents to your advantage, and provide your talents as well in exchange, right? It doesn't have to be money every single time. You can exchange like training, for example, in our case. For social media help, or there's always things you can do. So always look to grow and expand your network and use your network. That's really important.
Absolutely, I like that.
Very true. So when it comes to health, can you say the question one more time?
Yeah, so in 2020, like a lot of people's health decline, and people are just trying to figure out, especially now that gyms are back open, they're trying to find the motivation to come back. So what advice would you give to someone, to get up and start their health journey again today?
Okay, so the first thing that I'll let them know is that it most definitely goes beyond the gym. You got to start by being a good person. You can't work on yourself if you're internally thinking about decisions that you made that you're not happy with. You can't change your health goals if you don't follow all the rules. If you don't wake up and do a part of your routine, you're not gonna get the rest of the routine down. You gotta start with the whole routine and knock it out. You have to learn and listen to others and accept somebody else's perspective rather than disregarding it and applying your own opinion to it. That'll neglect wisdom.
Yeah.
And when you want to be healthy, it's a big thing. It's not visual. The visual comes last.
Yeah, absolutely.
You master your mental first, you know. So that's the main thing, you know. So so if you don't wake up and eat the apple, you're not gonna run the mile.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
like
true.
it all correlates.
Yeah.
You know? So that's the main thing. I tell them that it starts outside of the gym.
Yeah.
You know, and when it comes to motivation, getting into the gym, you're not gonna have. So I do this every day. I've never been motivated to go to the gym. I get motivated when I get there.
Yeah, me too.
I make it a plan to get there, but I'm not there like, oh my God, I can't wait to go paying myself. No, I'm thinking about bettering myself. I'm thinking about it in an optimistic way. You know, and then when I get there, 10 minutes in, I'm like, it's too far to stop now. It's too far to stop now. That's the only one that works. So you gotta just get there, physically get there. Don't even turn your head. Put your head toward wherever you gotta go and just knock it out.
A lot of the times too, with getting started with the fitness journey, it's about building a habit, right? Like consistency is key, and building a habit is key. Once you have a habit of getting up 3 times a week and going to work out, it gets easier every single time. It just becomes a part of your schedule. It's expected, and you feel weird if you don't at that point. So it's just about building a habit and really making it consistent and staying consistent.
Do you think it's important to have a physical trainer when you are trying to start a health journey?
Yes.
Okay.
Because buying a membership is good, you know, but it's just a toolbox. Like when my transmission breaks down, I don't go get a toolbox. I go take it to a mechanic.
Right.
So if you get a personal trainer, they'll teach you how to work the toolbox, you know. But it's impossible to know that. You know? There's people that just graduated from college, exercise science, that still get trainers so that they can see. It's like school, you know. So I most definitely recommend that to every person that cares about their body. Okay. Because it's a big entity. And if it wasn't secrets that you don't know, then there wouldn't be a market. Right. Everybody just know. Everybody be in shape. So like going to go find out the answers is key. You know, I had trainers. I had 3 trainers in my life. You know, and then I went to college. Okay. You know, so it's like you gotta see how it's done.
So the question I wanted to ask most is like, what are some of the myths out there when it comes to starting a fitness journey?
To getting in shape or starting
starting the journey, I guess, of fitness.
Starting the journey?
Yeah. What's some of the myths that you guys have heard? Excuses or...
Oh my God, so many. Let me think deep. What's the word?
Because I know there's crazy ones out there that...
What excuse to come to the gym?
Yeah.
I gotta work. That's my excuse. What is my excuse? I broke a leg. I got so many excuses.
Myths or excuses?
Yeah, myths.
Yeah. So like, I got so many. There's so many. What's a huge myth?
Just as far as excuses, I know time is a big one. People say I don't have enough time to do it.
Everybody has enough time.
Or I don't have enough energy to do it, right? My focus is somewhere else right now. Working out will help you with all those things, right? When you work out, you become more productive afterwards. You actually have more energy. You don't have less energy, and you have more focus. You know, there's studies that's been done on this stuff. So that, as far as excuses, like you touched on, that's a huge one, and that's a barrier a lot of people can't get past. And like I was talking about before with building habits, that's the key to get past that. Is that you realize how helpful it is.
Do you think it's less intimidating to come into like a smaller gym like yours and getting a workout in other than those bigger like memberships?
100%. 100%. And that's a big part of our business, and that's why we're called peer pressure, is because you want to come in and be peer pressured for the right reasons.
I like that.
So you come in and you're surrounded with greatness and like-minded individuals that are here to motivate you, and you're in a good environment to make that happen. And that's what we're all about, and that's why we have events and things too. It's because it's really community based.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So what makes you? There's so many, you know, like you said, like trainers and gyms out there. Like, what makes you guys stand out and different? I guess the event center is one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Art. our generation, we love our generation. Both of us have been blessed enough to not have no bad things on our name. We've always been good to people and nice to people. So like when we have events, people come respectful. They clean up after themselves because they know we would. So that brings a good group of people, and typically a good group of people comes with a good life that they have already, which is great for letting people know what goes on here. So that brings more good people, So that's what sets us apart. Our team, our team is so strong. We like there's nobody on our team that nobody has a problem with. Does that make sense?
Yep. So you're talking about a team and building that foundation. How did you guys set up your team and what builds your team strong and how do you guys motivate each other?
Yeah. Our team kind of came from, we have another partner, so there's three of us. Caroline is our third partner, and she's an amazing networker, and that was really key to getting the team together. And when you have good energy and good karma, like I believe we do, naturally good people come around you and they want to support you. So peer pressure doesn't just apply to members and everybody that comes in, it applies to everybody that's on the team as well. Is we are here for all the right reasons, and everybody can see it, and it's the energy that's there when everyone is around each other. So the team just kind of came naturally with the space and with the vibe.
No one was pressured to be a part of the team. People would come and like chill with us and then watch us the whole time they're there. We're zipping around and doing things. And they're like, you know what, I want to help with this entity. This is smooth, So that's how our team came about. I feel like natural selection, it brought people that are actually willing to help, attain something bigger than us. This is huge. We're not out here looking for money. We're really trying to change people's lives and start a new wave, because Minnesota is already a wellness state. So if we utilize that idea and just go big with it, everybody's gonna get their lives changed.
Absolutely.
That collaboration piece is definitely huge.
100%.
So I want to touch, go back to health and mental health. Is that something that you guys look into or study or something like that?
That's my favorite part of training.
Okay. So speak more on that.
Like, okay, so some sessions, well, a lot of people that I train, they battle a lot of different mental things that they went through. That's why I love my job. I get people that have been depressed, suicidal, husband hate them, kids hate them, whatever it is, and that's probably because of how they acted. But when I can train with them and let them know that it's not big, I make everything seem like a small thing, then that changes their mental forever. And then you get clients that cry, they do a lot of things like that. So it's just huge.
Yeah, being in a personal service, personal training type of industry, you're more than just a trainer. You're also kind of a therapist too.
That's true.
People vent to you, people talk to you, and when people are working out, a lot of that inspires that to come out too, and they just kind of open up, right? So mental health comes hand in hand with fitness and with working out. And just to touch on the business a little bit, we have a life coach, shout out Tatiana Paris. So we do have resources for that at the gym, right? And that's kind of a big reason why we have events and social gatherings, is because mental health is huge, and being with the community and having a support system and being peer pressured the right way is a good way to get around that and surpass that. So you add fitness, you add wellness to that, and it's just the whole umbrella of bettering yourself.
And that actually reminded me, when the launch party happened, I saw you guys have a chiropractor in there too.
Physical therapy.
So how important is physical therapy when it comes to healing from an injury?
Man, whoa, you can really have something healed incorrectly. That's what it's supposed to do. So if there's a physical therapist there guided to healing back the correct way, you're back to zero. You can still be at -1 if you hurt yourself, and you think you're back at 100. You're not. It's literally working in the wrong way the whole time. But if it comes back, you'll be back to normal. So I'm glad we have her there, because we have people that have injuries and things like that, and that's outside of our scope of practice. We can advise, but that's like we don't step outside of our scope of practice.
Respect to that, yeah.
So
That's awesome. I mean, yeah, I think physical health is one of the things that will help you recover from mental health, because when you go to the gym, you see results, and then you start slowly building your confidence back up and remember who you were. So I think that's really important play, because I tell that to people. And we were talking about this, was it, I think, with Christina, the first girl that we interviewed today, and she was talking about one of the biggest things she does is work out. It doesn't matter when it is, but she was like, that's what helps her, you know, with her daily motivation, with her positive energy, whether it's the morning or night. Like, if she gets that in, she feels better. So it doesn't matter how you look. So that's really important. It's
really huge. It's like 9 times out of 10, my clients' lives get changed before they even get to their goal. They find out that the work itself changed their life, not the result, the repetitions, the actual act of working on themselves. Because a lot of people, they can get into, like, today people are so fixated and computer brained, you know, but when you actually clock out of your life and come work on yourself, you're not talking to your kids, your man, you're nothing, you know, you just focus on yourself. That can really change you to where you're thinking about yourself first. And I tell people to put themselves first. Love everything, but make sure you put yourself first. It's about your temple. It's not about money. It's not about nothing. Put your health first, you know, and then that really changes people's lives. And if they don't disagree, you can't unhear me, because it's correct. You know, so.
And that's another thing too. When I was looking at you guys' price for your membership, I was pretty, like, I was shocked. How did you guys come up with the price point compared to all the other gyms out there?
Yeah, so we looked at just the local community.
Okay, that's powerful.
Yeah, and what was in the area, and what we had to offer and what was different. And we do have a CFO, and like I said, we have a whole team, you know, so we can always ask them for advice and input as well. But we just kind of came up with the pricing based on the geographic of the area and our services.
Like what we have to offer, and also how we can realistically pay rent. You know, so
rent gotta be paid.
It's gotta be paid. It's gotta be paid.
We love to be super nice.
Yeah,
we are super nice, but like, we have to make sure that it can stay as an entity that's running. You know, so that's how.
So do you guys, you know, we're in some interesting, unprecedented times right now. So let's just say, you know, pandemic comes back. What are some resources or advice that you guys will be offering, or you can offer
for
just your people in general, for the public?
So
let's say your gym was to close. Would you guys, are you guys having a website? You guys do videos or do online training sessions, or people who are skeptical or have underlying health issues that can't come to your gym but want your services?
Yes. So we are filed out as an association under the Secretary of State. Okay. And that's because we throw events and things. So when you come and join us, you're joining more than a gym. You're joining an association community, right?
Okay.
So that kind of takes away that aspect of worrying about closing down and things when this happens, right? There's still going to be a space there for you to come and optimize your health and wellness. So that kind of gets around that.
Yeah, so you guys don't really have to, so that makes sense.
Yeah. And as far as people worried with like underlying conditions and things like that, sanitize every night. There's a COVID waiver you have to sign when you sign up. A lot of precautions, you know, there's sanitization stations everywhere. We clean equipment constantly, so it is definitely a safe space to go.
Nice.
And also to touch on your question about if they can't come to the gym but still want to work out, all of our trainers, not all of them, but a lot of our trainers offer like at-home workouts.
Okay.
You know, if you follow them, they drop them really frequently.
Okay.
I do, you know, on Instagram. So, and that's free. A lot of people charge for that, and you might get charged if you want to be like an actual client. But like, if you just follow any one of us, you're gonna have something to do at home. So you're gonna still.
I can attest to that. I can attest to that. There's some exercises that I've seen you do that help my knee. The little rubber band. I don't know how you call that. You move your ankle around with the rubber band.
The bands,
the bands.
Yeah,
that's huge. Shout out to DC. Put me on. Oh my God. Yep, the ankle work is huge. People never work on their ankles, and then they play sports.
That's true.
Working on your ankles can change your squat form, running form, everything. So I pretty much start every day with that. Like my warm up to working out is like an hour and a half.
Wow.
And that's key. And I feel like it need to be longer. You know. So just knowing that, it makes me think about how much I don't know. You know, because I'm only doing necessary things for my warm up, and it took an hour and a half. I used to come to the gym for 1 hour and leave. You know, and I'm like, wow, now I know so much that there's so much that I can just swap out for, graduate to, you know. So yeah, the ankle work is huge.
And then I want to touch base too, because I know that gym, you guys is, like I said, you guys' space is unique too. When I was there getting a tour, I saw that there were not that many equipments. Is there a reason to why you guys don't have that many equipments compared to other gyms that there's equipments everywhere?
Yeah, so
Was
so
that
we're a
because they were
functional
opening
gym.
though?
Yeah,
Maybe that was because of the event, right?
Yeah, we're a functional gym. So
we changed it for events for sure.
You guys change it for events,
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
yeah, and for events we moved everything out the way,
Okay.
so that it can be an actual floor to walk around and do things like that.
Okay.
But overall, we're a functional gym though. Also, we have machines as well and cardio, but the main thing is we really love functional training. You know, I'm not super against machines, but I never use machines.
That's what I've heard.
I love stability muscles. I love balance. I love joint work. I love everything. And you pretty much just need bands and dumbbells and bars and benches.
So there's no excuse not to work out at home.
It was true. Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
but
so
we still have those to offer though. We still have machines to offer.
Yeah.
All of the muscle groups that you need are present. So
yeah. And functional training, for those that don't know, is just a way of training that you can apply to life. So if you're sitting on machines, right, you're just working one muscle, and that's cool. If you're like bodybuilding, whatever your goal may be for that. But functional training is applicable, like deadlifting, squatting, it's like sitting out of a chair, picking things up. You feel better overall in life if you do functional training.
That's true. Do you still swim?
I don't. I do not still swim.
Okay.
No. Yes. Stopped after college.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gotta hop back in the pool soon. I miss it.
So I'm always like an idea person when I listen to the conversations that we usually have with our guests. So do you guys do any educational courses teaching people about exercises and all that stuff?
Yes, we are gonna have some seminars for sure.
Okay.
We're gonna run some challenges that are coming up here soon. So they'll have Facebook community groups and things like that involved with that. So a lot of big things coming as far as learning about wellness and health out of peer pressure.
I think that's important.
Like the educational courses are that's what the service is, to be real. Like when you're training, it's education, then you try it. I explain what it is, I explain what muscle you're working, what you're doing, that's education, and then you do it. You know, so that it's all education, to be honest.
And we're always there just talking to members too.
Yeah.
Just engaging.
People, they have a hard time leaving because we just educate them the whole time, tag teaming. You know, so
so we're always there for support and any questions you may have. You know, we got you.
Yes, sir.
So I guess my final question for today is, what's next for peer pressure? Where do you guys see yourselves? You know, I don't like to say a specific time, but just in the future, like where do you guys see yourselves aligned with now?
Yeah.
I mean, our main focus is just trying our hardest and leading by example and seeing where that takes us. But we got dreams and aspirations and actual goals that are bigger than what we can imagine right now, bigger than what we are conscious of at this moment, you know. But my main goal is to change our whole generation, because not change, but make them more healthy, because the older generation are getting old, like they're about to expire. So I want to have a new norm, you know, and I feel like
important.
And I feel like the type of pull we have and respect that we can actually do it if we really just keep trying our hardest. Everybody's gonna understand like this is the best thing to do, not making all the money in the world. Taking care of yourself is wealth. Health is wealth, and we really feel that.
100%.
Wellness is the new currency for sure. The healthier you are, the more you can optimize what you have to offer in your life.
Yeah, and I like the fact, like I'm always rooting for when small businesses open, specifically owned by minorities, because you know there's a stigma in our community with like young black men, and they end up getting distracted, and you know they find doing other things, but when they see someone like that looks like them opening a gym, and then they feel comfortable, like, okay, maybe let me walk in here and see if I can do something else with my time. I think that's great. So
thank you.
I appreciate that, because it is not easy.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not. People always see the big thing. They'll see your grand opening, but they don't know what you did to get there. So that's why we have these type of conversations, to let people know it's not a one-step process. People worked hard to get to where they are.
It's a lot of reps. It's a lot of it's a lot of lessons learned. It's a lot of sacrifice.
Yeah.
So you know, all of that tallies up to the only way we're able to do all of that is to have a real goal and mission in hand, which is changing everybody in the city. You know, say if we focused on money, we would have been gave out.
Exactly.
You know, we really care about everybody we meet and that comes into our face, you know. So that's the big thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, before we end, I know when I keep going back to the lunch because we had a conversation and stuff like that, how important is it to like step away from the crowd to focus on your business? Because that's what I told you too. I was like, you kind of disappeared off of social media for a while, and then you came back with a project. So how important was that for you that you took a step back to just
mental
focus
health?
on it? Yeah.
That's another.
That was huge, primarily because when you already have a life, people understand when things happen from big things. Me taking a break off of social media was a big thing. I was really consistent, you know, and I needed to focus. And I didn't even do it just for social media. I literally needed that. So, and I realized what it looked like after I was done doing it.
Wow.
And it was what it was, you know what I'm saying? So by me coming back with a whole new, well, I've been with fitness, but coming back with the entity that changed the crowd, that changed my audience.
Yeah, it took me by shock too. So.
Yeah, you know, so that's it was pretty huge, you know, taking that break and then coming back, you know. But
it was worth it.
It was most definitely worth it. Yes, different everything, you know.
Yeah.
And then I always end the interviews by, you know, asking you guys to give advices to the younger generation, like that will watch this and be like, okay, I think I can do this too. So what is some advice that you guys can give them?
My advice would definitely be use your network and talk about what you want, and don't be afraid to talk about it. Don't be afraid of failure. Everybody fails. They lie to you if they tell you they don't, right? So just go for it and go all in. And if you gotta take a break from social media to make it happen, that's what you gotta do. Just do what you gotta do, because it'll be worth it and it'll pay off.
My advice would be to accept everybody's perspective rather than disregarding it and applying your own opinion to it. That's the only way to neglect wisdom. Everybody can get intelligence from any book, but wisdom comes with one variable called time. You know, you need to write down everything, because it's a chapter book that's called life. That's looking at a rate you can't control, you know, so you gotta write down everything you learn. And like, everybody go through a phase where they feel like they know everything, you know, but ain't nothing new under the sun. If you know somebody, they probably know more or something different. So if you accept what they're thinking, then you can tweak it and learn something from it. And that's what changed my life.
Yeah, stay open-minded.
Staying open-minded, you know.
This was powerful. Like I said, you know, it's nice to see the whole. When I reached out to you, was just because I wanted to touch base, because I was excited for you, you know, coming back with a business, and then knowing that it's the younger CEOs, you know, that are trying to do this too. So, but, you know.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you guys so much, first of all, for coming. We're definitely going to make sure that we link Peer Pressure Fitness.
Please do.
It's literally in the heart of the city, so great location. And I just love the whole concept of it, and the fact that it's also an event center and a community-based organized place. So that's awesome.
Yes.
So thank you guys. Like I tell everybody, like, we love to see the progress people do. So we'll definitely invite you guys back.
I appreciate that.
And, you know, just keep us updated, and we'll stay in touch.
Updated. Also, I also want to do an event where it's like a cook-off.
Oh,
I know you guys got the connects for the food, so we can have
definitely. We have chefs.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah, you know, we'll keep in touch.
Yeah, definitely. Down for that.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you
Appreciate
guys.
it.
Great job, everybody.